So Thursday, 12:11, just about halftime here, and I will say, Kyle Pitts looked like a football player this year.
Kyle Pitts looking good.
Great touchdown right now. Falcons are up. But we were just saying, I mean, the game is. I feel like every Thursday that game has not been good.
No, they've been kind of stinkers.
But here we are, sitting down,
Watching
with the game on.
Yep.
They got us, man. My first thing, my first fun fact of the day. Who currently leads all college basketball in points per game?
Hell if I know. Give me a conference.
It's Audie Crooks. Women's college basketball. Iowa State Center.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about now.
I was just watching that either yesterday or... Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
For reference, because I had to pull it up. So for reference, on the men's side, if you were to go points per game, right, let's say. Number 1, 24. Cam Boozer's at 23. 22, 21, 21. Whatever. Audie Crooks, 27.6 points per game.
Blowing them out.
And currently she is averaging over a point per minute played.
That's quality time on the court right there. Good Lord. What are they ranked right now here?
Who, Iowa State?
Yeah.
Let's see. They're second in the Big 12 right now. Let's see. They are a perfect 11-0. How about that? Just behind.
And they're
Arizona
second?
State.
Okay.
But their resume already includes they beat Iowa by 5. Iowa was ranked 11th. That was their first ranked win. Yeah, that was their first ranked win. But upcoming, they've got Baylor January 4th. Baylor's 13 right now. Iowa State's 10, ranked number 10 in the country. They got Oklahoma State in January, who's ranked, and then TCU, who's number 8 right now, and that's in February. So they've got some good games coming up. But this is gonna be one of those stories.
Crazy.
So 27.5 points, 5.7 rebounds, 2 assists a game. Only one other Division I men or women's player has achieved that stat of over 1 point per minute. Can you name the professional player, or now a professional player, averaging over 1 point per minute?
And they did this in college, where they're doing... Okay. Currently playing?
I'll say it's a man, because she would be the first woman to do it. Yes, he's in the league right now.
No, I feel like it's going to be someone crazy.
Joel Embiid.
Okay. I feel like with some thought, probably could have guessed that.
So
Definitely wasn't the first 5 names I thought of, though. For sure. But I was just cycling players.
Last fun fact I have, she's only averaging 24 minutes per game.
And they do what, 10 quarters?
Yeah, 40 minutes.
Well, four quarters, 10 minutes. Wow.
So...
Coming in, dominating, and then...
And she has a 61-point game.
That's insane.
With no three-pointers.
Dude.
23 of 30 from the field, 15 of 17 from the foul line, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. What?
Yeah. Yeah. What?
That doesn't even make sense to me.
15 points off free throws. Oh my god.
That's one of those like crazy stats. It's like, really? And then you read it and you're like, wow, that really did happen.
Are they playing 2K? What are they doing?
I will say she deserves her flowers. Junior. So if things don't work well, she's got 1 more year. But
Heck yeah.
I don't know.
Keep killing it.
If I'm a WNBA team, like, just sign me up. Like, I'd take her in a heartbeat. You've seen some of these other girls can play. I mean, if you're putting up points in big games, I mean, you're at a large D1 school. Would love to see that. What do we got here? Tampa driving down the field.
Yeah, it was a big play there. Yeah, trying to get a score before half. I don't know who got ball first.
Tampa got it first. 13 seconds left. No. Oh. 2 timeouts left. Let's see what Baker does. Get rid of the ball.
Can't do that. Can't do that. It takes up so much time.
And backs him up. So, anyways, that was door number 1 because I think fantastic.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to some of the CFP stuff. I want to quickly go. NBA Cup is this weekend.
Yes, I saw the Warriors lost out, so I kind of checked out. I'll be honest. Yep.
My Knicks won. They beat the Raptors in Toronto, so they are headed to Vegas. They're going to play the Magic on Saturday, and then on the other side is Spurs and Thunder on the west side. So I don't know. Kind of, I like the added urgency of the. These aren't just a random game on a Tuesday. It's like, oh no, this is a quarterfinal. This one's a semifinal. It just has a little bit more buzz to it.
Yeah, it's just got a little bit more oomph to it. I mean, even if what you're playing for isn't the main title, it's something throughout the season. We talked about it. Like, I like it. It's fun.
I hope they do. I think they'll find what the recipe is that gets more people excited. Because I know right now it's like Prime, and that's always tough to get viewers. Or if they do like a certain night of the week, or they started doing like the different court colors, like they will find what that combination is. Because I do think it's something that is going to stick around. I don't think it's going anywhere. But we'll see. So that'll be Saturday, and I think it's Saturday, Tuesday, or Saturday, Wednesday for the final. But that's really it on the NBA side. Thunder still haven't lost since we've recorded.
Still just trouncing over everyone. So, I mean, everyone in that locker room's thinking about that record. And if you keep coming out and putting out good performances and you're cohesive as a unit, everyone does their job, kind of makes the game a lot easier. So,
sitting at 24-1. Doesn't feel real.
No.
But that record might be going down. I hate to say it too, and I would be hard pressed to see if the Thunder actually lose to somebody. So this might be going down as one of the best seasons ever. We'll see. It's got a long way to go, but not looking good for your Warriors.
No.
NFL stuff. I have a hot take.
Let's hear it. I got one thing on NFL too. We'll see.
As you know, I did frequent an establishment this Sunday, specifically a 1:00 game, and Jags won, which whoop. Whole game was played in the pouring rain, so that sucked. But two things. One is the section, the bud zone, which is that middle section, or the section that's below the end zone seats, filled with vendors, bathrooms, TVs, large screens. Why are we still sitting in stadiums? Like, you basically bought a ticket to the stadium, and then you can tell me that yes, you can watch the live action there, but also you could walk 25 feet to a covered area that had 10 screens with every other game that's going on, with no line for the bathroom. You can go get your beers or get your hot dogs or whatever. And I'm sitting there like, why would I go back to my seat?
I just want to hang out here.
Like, I'm good here. And everybody's just having a good time, and there's no, like, I don't know. Everybody's done it. You've been to games where, like, somebody gets drunk or somebody's an idiot and they're yelling at you because you got this color on, or I'm a fan of this team. and everybody downstairs is like, "Hey man, look, that game's on TV." I'm like, "Oh, it's like going to the bar. Like it's so much better." I don't know. Maybe it's because it was a neutral, right? It wasn't there cheering for the Jets.
Right.
I was cheering for a good football game, and I'm like, oh, I can watch more good football games. Like, what? This seems like a no-brainer. But I just think it's. I think, and I, there was certainly an emphasis on all of the signage when you were in there of, oh, the stadium of the future, or whatever they're dubbing it, this multi-billion-dollar stadium that the Jags are going to be building. I think it's supposed to be done for the 2028 season. So, 3 full years. But seats are too small. Line is too long. It's a pain to park. Pay $50 for parking just to walk a couple blocks. I don't know. I'm just like, unless it's like my team or like a playoff game where the game matters, I don't think NFL games do it for me. And then
What would be
waiting.
your preferred game to go to?
Like
neutral. Keep it neutral.
Wise?
Yeah. Because I feel like everywhere, right? The seats are too small. The lines are going to be long.
Sure, yeah. I guess I mean less about the Jags and more about football as a sport to go watch. Like, I don't think that going to a football game is as enjoyable as going to other sports. Basketball, intense, end-to-end action at all times. Ball's out of bounds, there's literally a timer on the clock for when the ball's going to be back in bounds. There's a timeout, there's your timer before they get back on the field. Even halftime's only, 15, 20 minutes. Baseball I liked. Because, again, I think the pitch clock adds help. I think
the pitch clock helped a lot.
There's something always going on. But also baseball's like, oh, if you have to get up, what are you really going to miss?
A couple strikes.
Come right back. Yeah,
yeah.
Couple strikes. It's still, the game is long enough that you're like, oh, man, I went to go get another drink. Oh, I'm back 15 minutes later. Oh, it's only the bottom of the third. Like, I'm good. And soccer, obviously. But honestly, hockey was a ton of fun.
I love hockey games. I'm fortunate enough to be able to go to the Lightning. They got Tesla coils in the ceilings that are lit whenever they score, which, by the way, I think the Lightning were playing and winning tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Check on that.
Hey, that's just my hot take. I don't know. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, if I'm a family of 4, right? And I live near an NFL stadium, is that the first thing you're going to with your kids? I don't know. How expensive it is now?
I don't think NFL would be the first thing I go to. I think I would resort to like a baseball. Would probably be the easiest to kind of deal with. Yeah.
I don't know. It got me thinking. I do think it's different if it's your team, right?
Oh, definitely different. Because I'm sitting here thinking like I'd go to any game I could. Like, love going to watch Bengals home games and Florida State home games and Reds and all that stuff. So,
but Dolphins Broncos, I'm like, I don't really want to be here.
No, it'd have to be playoffs or Super Bowl.
Yeah, of course, fair. Those two are different. I also think, which I probably should add as a caveat, in my 2 fantasy leagues, my work one back-to-back years crashed out. I was the top seed 6 weeks in. Did not make the playoffs. Just a catastrophe. I blame Lamar Jackson, but that's fine. Only top 4 make the playoffs, so I'm mathematically limited. My other league ended up as the top seed, and I actually have Ibuka playing tonight. I'm playing against Bijan, but no service in these NFL stadiums because everybody's on their phone.
Yeah.
And
there's
like,
just thousands of phones there.
What's the point? Of course everybody's looking at their fantasy football team. That's what we do. I wish they just had one of the giant screens just with like the fantasy scores.
So I feel like your future ideal NFL experience would be paying for the parking and having a TV with like Red Zone and then having a TV with the game that you're on at. You see those people in the tailgate parking lots, like they're just out there grilling and drinking. They're just watching the games from the back of their car.
I think what I want to do is just be at the bar. I think that's aligned with what you're saying.
Just pop in the car, drive 15 minutes down the street, and just watch it there.
And just cheers everybody that's there. Maybe it's not even a bar. Maybe it's like an outdoor bar where somebody's on the grill, and you're like, oh man, this hot dog is awesome. And I'm like, wow, it's like I'm at the game. But yeah, that was it was fine. I mean, it was a great time, of course, because it's a live sporting event. Like, you get the buzz, the energy. Everybody's there. Jags won, which always makes it more enjoyable when you go. But like, just thinking about, I don't know. Just think about it. I will say that this year alone, I've now done. I did hockey, baseball, football, basketball.
Heck yeah.
So I've completed my sports equinox, or whatever we're going to call it, a bingo card. And yeah, naturally, it's like comparing which arena did I have more fun in, which game was better, and even games that I went to where my team lost, I had a better time than going to a neutral football game. Which, interesting. But that's my hot take. Less stadiums, more bars.
Fair enough.
We will get to the CFP. I need an ISO. I need to clear out. Because last Friday was a World Cup draw.
Ooh, yes. Yes, I did take a peek at that. And how do you think the U.S. fares here?
So we're still 6 months away, right?
Mm-hmm.
But basically what the World Cup draw boils down to, I'll say, is I actually think a couple things. I think the 2-hour presentation of it, 2.5 hours, I think it actually finished as dumb. There's no need. You could have done all of that in an email. Or you could have done all that in a 15-minute YouTube video.
Yep.
The pomp and circumstance, that's not for what's going on. That's more for ads and for TV, and you're trying to make an event out of it. I get it. Or for Trump, or for whoever is, all of the leaders of the three countries to try to, play it up a little bit. Oh, it's going to be the best World Cup ever. And I will say, going back, every World Cup says that. This could be the best one in history. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're not. To me, I think South Africa 2010 just holds that, I was at your house. That just holds that special, memory. 14 was pretty good. Brazil. Or maybe that was the one we went to. No, it was South Africa. Because we were watching U.S. Ghana.
I remember U.S. Ghana. I don't.
With Clint Dempsey's goal.
I think that was.
18 was fine.
I'll search it.
22 was fine. And we'll see how 26 goes. But 4 different pots. All the teams are going off their FIFA ranking, and each pot gets drawn. Now, this one's obviously expanded from 32 to 48 teams. So there's 12 different groups of 4. They draw all the pot 1 teams to sort them all out. Then they draw all the pot 2, sort those out, pot 3, pot 4. And there's certain rules, like you can't have more than one country from one confederation. So you can't have... Jamaica's not going to play against... Or I shouldn't use Jamaica because they're not... The U.S. can't play against Canada. Right? Argentina can't be in the same group as Brazil. So they can vary it so you're playing against different confederations and continents, which...
Perfect,
cool.
Yeah. Mix it up.
And then there are still these TBDs for the playoff winners. So those placeholders have also been grouped, and whoever wins those playoff games, which I think are in March, they'll just slot right in. Now, with all being said, the U.S. got a very favorable draw. I don't know if I want to say it's the best draw we could have had. It's up there, though. It is... They were doing, you could do, a simulator on, ESPN or The Athletic, and you could, run it, press randomize, and it'll do it for you. they'll say, "Oh, this is the statistically the strongest group that you could get, or the weakest group." And I will say, for who we got, this is one of the weakest. So we have Australia, who obviously not a powerhouse, but they've had a couple of good games in World Cups. They normally have a few players that play at a high level internationally. I think we'll be fine. We did happen to play them this year, and we beat them in a friendly 2 months ago or 3 months ago.
Okay.
And we have Paraguay. Good team from South America. South America probably one of the toughest places to have to qualify from. We also played them 2 months ago in qualifying. We also beat them in qualifying. Not qualifying, sorry, friendlies. Both those going to be friendlies. And then the last spot is the Euro playoff, one of the Euro playoff winners. And that's most likely looking like it's going to be Turkey. We also played in a friendly this year. So of the 10 or 11 friendlies we played, potential that we have already played these three teams in 2025.
Okay.
Very uncommon. Turkey we did lose to. We lost to them in June, I believe, in Connecticut. But we're kind of looking all right. I think we're on a 5-game win streak right now. The U.S. Pochettino's kind of got these guys looking pretty good. I think the big test is going to be what you look like when the lights are on, right?
Yeah.
I think the U.S. got to pick where their home games were. So the three group home games are all on the West Coast. So we go L.A., Seattle, San Francisco, I think it is, are the three. So we'll be some West Coast games for us. But I think above all, what I'm excited about is like the schedule. Have you looked at this yet?
Not at the schedule. No.
Thursday, June 11th, first day. Games at 3 p.m., games at 10 p.m. Friday, games at 3 p.m., games at 9 p.m. Saturday, June 13th, first day really kicks off. We've got a midnight game, 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Sunday, 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m. And you have that for literally 2 weeks of just nonstop. Wednesday the 17th, you have midnight, 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Like, don't...
Just all day. I'm going to need to get a couple extra TVs for this.
100%. Don't book anything. And what I will say that I do appreciate about the World Cup, and if they decide to mess this up, I'm going to be pissed, is every game will be on cable. There's no extra package that you have to worry about. So, I think it's Fox who has it this year, so it'll be your Fox 1 or Fox Sports or whatever will have all the different games, but you don't need to worry about getting Prime or getting Netflix or whatever else to try to watch. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm stoked. And I know we talked about previously, like, yeah, there's so many different geopolitical and other issues, and I don't even want to get into it, but the soccer stuff alone, I'm here for. I do think, and we'll probably cover it before we get closer, but favorites, probably Spain. There's a couple of teams you could probably group with them, but if I had to put money on it today, I'm going Spain. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, Argentina's a good shot, too. But yeah, so that's my little World Cup spiel.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's always a good time for me. It's a lot of soccer. I don't really watch a whole lot of soccer. I try to turn it on Saturday mornings sometimes. Or Sunday mornings, too. But looking forward to some of these teams surprising some of these powerhouses. I mean, it happens every year, it seems like.
Oh, yeah, big time. Even though Argentina won the World Cup, they lost their opening game to Saudi Arabia. When Spain won it in 2010, they lost their opening game to Chile. So anything really can happen. I think it's exciting for these countries who have never qualified. Curacao, right, with a population of less than 1 million people. Haiti qualifying. Iran, Cape Verde qualifying. Like, some of these teams are not. It's the first time for them. They're playing house money. Dude, if you score a goal, your country's throwing a party. Just the fact that you're there, your country's celebrating.
For sure.
So I think that's awesome. The 2 year point's gonna be great. Okay. I've been trying to hold you off as long as I can. You've been chomping at the bit. What happened with college football?
Quite plainly, this committee sucks. And honestly, like that, in a nutshell, if we were just gonna break it down to the root cause, I think it's that. I think they've made so many questionable decisions over the years, and I'm not even gonna harp on 13-0 conference champion FSU. I'm not even gonna bring that up.
No,
I'm not.
You would never. That doesn't sound.
I mean, I mention it just for the fact that I'm not gonna even put that into my factors here, right? It's biased, so I'll throw it out.
But it did happen.
It did happen, and it was integral when it happened. They made the announcement as soon as it happened. The first time a conference champion, an undefeated conference champion, has not been let to playoffs. It was a 14 playoff. Yeah, it was a 14 playoff. If that would have happened with the 12-team playoff, we would have been in, despite the Jordan Travis injury. We would have had to been in the 12-team playoff. Allegedly. But you never know with these guys.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, neither here nor there. What I'm more upset about is undefeated Georgia that same year, undefeated all season, lost in the conference championship game to Alabama, and dropped 5 spots to 6.
Okay.
Which forced the FSU Georgia game, whatever. Not undefeated Alabama loses conference championship game, and they drop no spots. BYU lost to one football team this year. They lost twice, but they lost to one football team this year. They dropped and got booted out. So you can't.
Should we preface with what the bracket is first? Or do you want to get into that after?
Well, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep rolling. So, all of those decisions there are questionable. Obviously, you had to drop Ohio State because they lost, and but those are still the number 1, number 2 teams in the country. I don't know if we're looking at a let's get the best 12 teams in football, or if it's let's include everybody, or if they're trying to do a little bit of both, or I don't know. And I haven't thought of a solution, I'll be honest. It's tough, to be one of those committee members in that room. I can't imagine the types of decisions you have to make. But with that being said, here is what they went with. Ranking number 1, Indiana. Obviously undefeated. They beat the only other undefeated team in the country in the championship game. So they moved to 1. Ohio State drops to 2. I still think these are the 2 best teams in football. Georgia's close. At number 3, they got Georgia. Just won the SEC championship. Perfect. Number 4, Texas Tech University. They just won the Big 12, beat BYU convincingly, very convincingly, don't get me wrong. So they slot in at 4. They got Oregon at the 5, Ole Miss at 6, Texas A&M at 7, Oklahoma at 8, Alabama at 9. And see, this is where I had the issue. Okay. I thought all of those were fine. They all made sense. None of those teams played that weekend. Obviously, it was championship weekend. So, they didn't lose, and if that's where they were ranked on Tuesday, and they were sitting on the couch on Saturday, or working out, or doing whatever, watching film, watching the games, then you can't really drop if you don't play. So,
yeah.
Valid. Alabama at 9. I think there's 3 other teams that can go instead of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just because they lost the SEC championship game, because I did say before the game that, like, hey, you shouldn't really be punished for making it to the championship game and losing. You were one of 2 teams out of your conference to make it there, so clearly you're one of the best 2 teams in your conference. At least throughout the season.
Okay.
Which is fine with me. But after watching BYU get their ass kicked, kind of, and the committee dropped them a spot, the same thing happened to Alabama. And not to mention, Alabama has a loss to, what would we end up, 5-7, Florida State?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad loss.
It is.
So if you're going to punish Texas that early in the season for losing to Florida, hello pot, this is kettle. One and the same, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'll go over my picks after getting through the rest of this here. 10, who on Tuesday was Notre Dame. Maybe not a 10, but would have been in the spot, is now Miami. Because they booted BYU out. Notre Dame and Miami were next to each other, head-to-head. They slopped Miami in at 10, and then the 2 conference champions, Tulane at 11, and James Madison at 12. So, those less mad with. I think if Virginia wins that game, there's a chance they get in over James Madison.
Fair.
Maybe. But they lost, so now you got 8 and 6 Duke. Let's see what they ended up.
That sounds right.
Yeah, around there. They won. They're out. So I feel like Notre Dame kind of got shafted a little bit, but there's a lot of drama going on with that right now. BYU, I mean, you lose the one football team, and all of a sudden you're not one of the top 12 football teams in the country. Mind you, the one football team you lost to is your conference champion. You looked bad against them. You did lose twice to them. You looked bad against them, but tell me, like, BYU doesn't stand a chance against Ole Miss, maybe. Yeah, I don't want to be blasphemous and say Miami, but possibly them. Like, they dropped to Louisville. So, like, there's a few teams in there I think definitely deserve a spot. There's a lot of cleaning up to do. I think it's going to have to be more expansion.
Again.
And I think we're going to have to schedule either restrictions or kind of like your password, how you have to meet a couple criteria for it to be qualified. You have to play one of the Power 4 teams. I'm pretty sure James Madison's played one team in the Power 4 and they lost. Let me check on that. But I think you should have to play a team maybe from each conference or maybe a couple conferences, rotate the schedule. I don't know. Maybe break the SEC. I don't know. Then you look at the NFL and it's like everything makes sense. It's perfect. Everybody's in nice even divisions. You win your division, pretty much you're in. Right? I just think college football is so far away from that because there's so many teams and the distribution of them throughout the conferences is so uneven that we're going to end up with 5, 6, 7 SEC teams in this 12-team playoff just because of how their schedule goes and, quite frankly, how good they are. But I don't see anyone from the Big 10, Big 12, not any more than 1 or 2 teams stepping up and doing that. So I don't know. A lot of work to be done. Did they get it right I don't think so. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Did some teams get snubbed? Yeah, sure. But teams have been getting snubbed for however many years we've been doing this. 2014. So. Sorry, not 2014. I think it was 15.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I think there's only really two big points that I'm going to disagree with, and I'll start with those. I actually think that there shouldn't be scheduling regulations. And although I think it would make it it would for sure make it easier if you had it, because then you're going to say, okay, you got to follow X, Y, and Z. I think that part of the power ranking using the computer system, whatever, that to me shows some of that ambition of, hey, we're in the SEC one, so we have to play these teams, but also we're choosing to play these teams. We are playing a tough schedule, so and so. So if you have a team that has 1 or 2 losses, but their strength of schedule is way higher, to me that shows that they're better prepared. James Madison, to your point, one ranked team on their schedule, or one power group of 4. Then you have to run it. You have to win your conference. You have to go undefeated or 1 loss, or UCF when they were undefeated. Like, if you're not going to be in those conferences, then you just have to beat everybody that's in your way. And I think that's okay. So I think that there is a very fine line, but I think there's a balance between, hey, we're a powerhouse school and a powerhouse conference, and we have 3 losses. Will you let us in? Versus, hey, we played Division I football, but we didn't lose a game this year. Now, yes, historically speaking, the powerhouse school, even with 3 losses, typically has beaten up on the smaller scale football programs. That doesn't mean it's forever, especially with NIL. Like, for all we know, the James Madison, the Tulane, whoever, could have some ballers on their team, could have some transfers who didn't play. Do I think they're going to win the national championship? No. Do I think that there is potential for a first-round upset? Absolutely. Now, 12-5, probably not. James Madison's, they're fighting quite the uphill battle. I do think, and we'll get into the picks, I do think there's a chance that Tulane could upset Ole Miss. Like a legitimate shot.
Okay.
And we'll get into that. Not just because my mother-in-law went there. But we want to say this about the SEC, but Oklahoma is, 2 years into being in the SEC?
Something like that, yeah.
Right? And if Texas had gone in, same thing. I think the Indiana of it all is kind of the wild card here. Because if Indiana doesn't have this magical season, right? If Indiana isn't the team that they are, and let's say Ohio State wins the conference and everything else stays the same, you're looking at probably Oregon at the 4. That means that 3 of the 4 teams from last year that were in your top 4 are again in the same slots. What I'm trying to say is I think that these powerhouse schools, they're going to be there every year regardless. Yes, does it suck that Alabama's in with 3 wins, but if Texas didn't make it, or whoever? Sure, but...
Vandy.
Sure, Vanderbilt, yeah. A couple of these schools did have a shot. When you leave it up to opinion, when you leave it up to a room full of mostly men, if not all, there is more at play than just your schedule. And we've talked about this too, whether it be the history, whether it be the fan base, whether it be the TV, we have to sell tickets to this game. We have to market this game. What does it look like if Alabama, Oklahoma, which was a great game regular season, versus a Vanderbilt, Oklahoma? Totally different markets, totally different ticket sales, totally different price points. Also, if Alabama beats Oklahoma, Alabama, Indiana becomes a sneaky good Rose Bowl. Can't say the same if it's somebody else. So I'm not going to say sympathy, that's the wrong word, but I have a bit of an understanding of, I don't like the decision that they made, but I can almost get it. So, with that being said, To fix it, if I were to, yeah, I think you could extend. You could expand to 16. I actually like the 12. I like the 4 teams getting to bye. The only thing that I don't like, which I've also said to you, those top 4 teams should be hosting their games. Because what are you earning then? Just a bye? Like Oregon having to play James Madison, but it's in Oregon? What a huge advantage you have. Now imagine if the winner of that had to go to Lubbock and play Texas Tech. Like that would be, you'd have that stadium rocking. You'd have the whiteout game or whatever, or Michigan where they're all singing the song. Like, imagine that atmosphere. I just think the commercialization of it being the Orange Bowl and then the Rose Bowl, and
the Peach Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, like
put it on their campus. Let Indiana host a quarterfinal against Alabama or against Oklahoma, somebody that they wouldn't have played on their schedule. I just think that'd be great, and that would be the one big thing that I would change. Second, I think you got to keep the group of 5 teams. I think you got to keep your James Madison and your Tulane. They don't get touched. Fine with them being 11 and 12. Miami, I draw some issue with because I think Notre Dame. If Notre Dame wasn't there on the Tuesday one,
I heard a lot of people talking about that.
no questions asked.
Yeah.
If that's how you felt on Tuesday, then I understand that's how you felt on Sunday. But if on Tuesday you're telling me that Notre Dame did enough and neither of these teams played, what changed?
What changed is they shafted BYU.
BYU, I think, has a better resume than both of those teams.
They've lost to one football team this year, and it's their conference champion, and they're ranked number 4 with a bye. There's no way they should be out of this playoff.
Now, I don't think that... You want to leave Miami at 10? Fine. I think BYU should be at 9, where Alabama is. And I think that makes it a... If you keep Alabama in as a... We lost in our conference championship game. BYU lost their conference championship game and then only lost to a top 4 team.
And you booted them out.
I think that's tough.
Yep.
So, I think those would be the 2. I'd probably leave Miami, although I do think the Notre Dame thing on Tuesday is just a little weird. Alabama would be out for me. BYU at 9. And I am happy with that.
Where was BYU? BYU was at 11 before and lost. So, I mean, if you put... I don't know. I think Miami should have been ahead of Notre Dame anyway because of the head-to-head. So I think you put Miami 9, BYU 10, and boot Bama. But that's just me.
Fine to me.
That's just me.
I might give the bonus point to BYU because they made their conference final.
Yes. Okay,
if
that's fair.
If you're splitting hairs.
No, that's fair. I'm cool with that. They're ranked ahead of Miami anyway. I don't know. You'd have to do something funky there. But then, if you want to count losses, like Miami lost to Louisville.
And NC State, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to pull it up. Notre Dame lost to Miami, who's a top 15 team. And then Texas A&M, who's a top 10 team. Was a top 4 team all season until they lost to Texas.
Sorry, not NC State.
SMU. SMU, yep. I mean, not the worst losses ever, but not the greatest ones ever. I think the worst loss out of all those teams is still Bama to Florida State. I don't know.
Get them out of here.
I don't know. And then their loss to Oklahoma is equivalent to Notre Dame's loss to Texas A&M, so you can just cancel those out. I don't know. Want to get into predictions?
Let's do it.
Well, first game. Well, actually, I don't know the order of these games. I'm just looking at the order. I have them written down. James Madison, Oregon.
Yep.
Easy. What do you think?
I mean, yes, Oregon will win the game, for sure.
Oregon.
Do I think that it could get a little spicy? I
I think the
things
first
that-
half is electric.
I don't think so. I think this is the blowout of the 4.
Yeah, Oregon 21.5 point favorite.
I do think Oregon comes in.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like home crowd, rockin' stadium with the whether they do a green out or a white out or something. It's going to be one of those games, and it's 7:30 at night game for us, 4:30 for West Coast. It'll be one of those games that like you're gonna see the ESPN compilation of it. You'll be like, oh wow, look at the stadium before the game, and look at how pumped up everybody is. Because yeah, James Madison, like there is a little bit of swagger there. Like they've been good for a little bit, and this is their first shot of being recognized. They're not just gonna want to roll over. I do think this is a bad matchup for them, but
it's a tough matchup.
that's not tough.
Indeed.
They'd be like, hey, welcome.
Indeed.
Glad you got
But
it.
hey, Oregon come out and lay an egg.
You're not wrong.
You never know.
You're not wrong.
You never know.
They did last year against Ohio State.
Yeah, for sure. After beating Ohio State in the regular season, too.
I just hope that Indiana doesn't
So,
do the same thing.
We'll
We'll
see.
get there. We'll get there.
We'll
I'm
see.
spoiling.
All right, next. We got Alabama at Oklahoma. I definitely circled this in anger. I want Oklahoma. I don't think Alabama loses 2 straight, though. I did see something. I don't know if it's clickbait or not, but I did see something that potentially their quarterback's injured. But Simpson. Definitely could have been clickbait, though, because I don't see anything on Alabama's page. So we'll just keep an eye on that.
Ty Simpson. Let's see. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't see anything when I hit up ESPN. So probably clickbait. I think it's hard to beat somebody twice, unless you're Texas Tech. So I don't think Oklahoma can do it. I hope they do. I will be rooting for them. But I think Alabama weaseled in. They're going to get through another one round at least.
Here's the tough part. This game last time was in Tuscaloosa.
Now it's in. That's fine.
Oklahoma.
They go 1-1 away games.
I think my thinking though is if you're Oklahoma, and you didn't play this past weekend, so you got more film on Bama. Hopefully healthy. Turning this into a home game.
Oh, they canceled classes.
Who?
I'm pretty sure Oklahoma canceled some classes to prep for this.
That's amazing. Mateer and Oklahoma was my pick preseason, and they were my pick this first couple of weeks. I might just rock with them here. Only
Okay.
a 1.5 favor for Alabama, but they're away on the road. Do I think that? Okay, let me say this: would I be totally surprised if Oklahoma won the game? No, I wouldn't be totally surprised. I'm probably leaning Alabama, but I'm gonna go with Oklahoma here. I think they pull it out.
I'm also
Do you
testing a theory here that the team I pick usually loses. So I'm trying
That's
to.
that theory my whole life. So don't
Yeah, I've got my voodoo doll on the side over here.
I will say I do think this will probably be the best game of the 4.
Okay, that's fair.
What you got next?
Next, we'll go top other side. Tulane at Ole Miss. You said you think there's the green wave
The Green Wave.
comes in and floods Mizzou. Missouri,
I will say Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yeah, it might be.
I will say
tripping over here.
Elite, the S tier logo.
I do love their logo.
S tier, as in nobody really knows what it is. Doesn't matter. It slaps. Throw it on a hoodie. Throw it on a t-shirt.
It's like a backyards baseball
Oh,
logo.
that's a good one. Yes.
Yeah.
I will take that over the Alabama A any day. So, here's my problem. Ole Miss. Good. They had a really good season. We kind of talked about the Lane Kiffin stuff last week. He So I think they felt that their assistant coach or one of their coordinators who stepped up is now the interim. But you're telling me a coach that had a great season left for a rival, and I believe he's going to be pulling some of his staff with him too. You tell me all of the commotion that's over the last 2 weeks, these kids are focused and able to like truly lock in with a brand new head coach, with some of them probably having conversations about transferring, going to LSU to want to follow him. Guys who maybe weren't happy with Kiffin are like, oh, now he's gone, and taking like a sigh of relief. Or some players probably just not even wanting to return. I mean, Kiffin turned that team into this is the best season they've ever had.
Yep.
And he kind of like pulled the rug out from underneath them. If I was a lower ranked team and this was a game I had to travel somewhere to play in the opening round, it would be Ole Miss. Because I think that statistically they're there. I don't think that we're going to see a great performance over them. Of course, I could be wrong. But I think 17.5 points is a ton of points to give for a team that's in this much disarray right now.
That's fair.
So do I think that Tulane, of all teams, can do it? Maybe.
The recipe's looking right for this one. Like, they can... It's definitely there.
Yeah, like 11-2. They beat a good North Texas team to win their conference championship. Yes, they lost to Ole Miss 45-10, week 4.
They were just sizing them up.
I don't even know if it's that. Like, Ole Miss was cooking. Ole Miss was great. I think this Ole Miss team, like I said, I think they would have had a legitimate shot as the 6th seed if everything had stayed right. If there's no Lane Kiffin story, if there's no drama, I think they roll past Tulane, and I think they have a legitimate chance to beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl.
I agree.
And now I think their shot is over. And Tulane will. I think they'll make it interesting at least. I will probably take Tulane plus 17.5.
You gotta... I mean, I think that's possible. I don't think they'll win, for sure. But keep it within 2 scores. Within 2.5. I think it's unfortunate. Again, he goes to a rival SEC school. But Tulane's coach is leaving and he's coaching. And I'm pretty sure James Madison's coach is also leaving and he's coaching the rest of the playoffs.
Yep.
They're both leaving. Now, different conference, whatever. And I said, like, hey, I guess if Lane is leaving and going to LSU, he's got some work he needs to do to get on campus and start recruiting. Like, sure. So do these coaches. And they're coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think for the sake of your best chance at a playoff, you let him stay.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I agree. Like, he's going to a rival school. He's leaving you for a rival school. Like, fine. But, like, finish what you got right here. Unless they got total faith in, who was it, Chambliss? Chambliss and the assistant coach stepping in. So
Golden, I think.
I don't know.
I did see the Tulane thing was a joint statement, I think, with the coach and the university to be like, hey, we're so excited that he's had this other opportunity. Like, he let us know. He also asked if he could take the rest of the postseason, and we granted him that. I'm like, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Because it's a business agreement to be like, hey, look, I did the job. I want to see this out.
Listen, here's my 2 weeks,
like,
but these are going to be the best damn 2 weeks that you've ever gotten out of me.
Yeah. And yes, will you be gone after that? Sure, but let's go win.
Let's go win some playoff games.
Yeah. All right, Miami, Texas A&M.
This game, I kind of stared at for a while. I think Texas A&M was, I don't want to say flawless most of the season, but they looked fantastic. Miami looked great for like 8 games. And then they started doing that thing that they do. dropped to Louisville, dropped to SMU, both conference things, blew your chance at winning a conference championship and just completely solidifying your name in the college football playoff. You had to kind of sneak in, lurk in the shadows for a little bit to be granted access here. Should be a wake-up call. Hey, we almost didn't make it, but we're here. Let's ball out. I can see Miami winning this one. I think Texas A&M and Marcel Reed win it, though.
I'm going A&M.
Yep, that's going to be my lock-in as well.
And the two stats I have for you. A&M 11-1, which is fine. But only in 2 games this year did they not put up at least 31 points. Now, granted, this is a schedule that had obviously a ton of SEC teams, but also 4 ranked teams at the time of playing. And only in 2 games did they not score 31 points.
Yeah, that offense is nasty.
And those 2 games were Auburn, where they won 16-10, and then the last game against Texas, 27-17. So, team's going to score a ton of points. Now you're running to, obviously, a Miami team that, like we said, has been hot and cold. I think if you're talking Miami in the first half of the year, I'd probably take Miami.
Yeah.
Miami second half of the year? I don't know. I don't know if it's a lock for them. But, okay, so he said, so you took James Madison, you took Bama, you took Ole Miss.
I didn't take James Madison. I took Oregon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read James Madison. You took, so you took all the 4. You took the 4 favorites.
Oregon. I have Oklahoma circled.
Yeah. James Madison was going to blow out Oregon. You said that.
Yeah, that's no. Hold up. You're gonna have to clip my head snap when you said that, because no chance. So yeah, we'll have Texas Tech versus Oregon, and this was my hardest decision, I think, that I had. I stared at Miami, Texas A&M a while. I stared at Ole Miss, Georgia a while, but this one was the hardest for me. Because I don't know necessarily how good Texas Tech is. To the same point, I don't know how good Oregon is. They did not look very great against Penn State late in the season after James Franklin had been fired. So,
let's see. Texas Tech, 3 games against ranked opponents. 2 of them were BYU. Another one was Utah. Last 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of their last 6 games, only once have they given up more than 10 points. But, to your point, 12, I don't know.
Who are they playing?
That does make it a little interesting.
So, I think it'll be a good game. I picked Oregon.
Period.
Yep, I picked Oregon.
I'm also picking Oregon. Yeah. Solid team. Only loss was against obviously number 1 Indiana. I don't love how close some of these scores are. 18-16 over Iowa. Obviously, Penn State was having a great season, but 30-24. 21-7 over Wisconsin, which is a weird game. But I do think Oregon has some sins to atone for from last year, and I think that they do some of that, at least here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then pushes us over to Georgia Ole Miss.
Okay.
At least that's who. Yeah, that's what I had. I got Georgia winning this. Like you said, going off the no Kiffin. Are these kids focused? Mm-hmm. Who are we going to see? I think if they roll past Tulane, get their playoff win, I think Georgia's looking a little too good right now. They completely dominated Alabama in that SEC championship game. and that's playoff atmosphere. So, assuming they don't come out sluggish and slow, and Ole Miss doesn't do anything crazy in the first half, I think this is a Georgia win.
I actually think this has blowout potential
For
Georgia.
Okay.
I think that if Ole Miss do get past Tulane, which we're both expecting them to do, I think this will be. I think Georgia puts up like 35, 40 points. I don't think this is a competitive game whatsoever. To me, again, one team is focused on the here and now, focused on the moment, focused on can we win a championship, can we compete, and one team is in complete disarray. And yes, of course, the media is trying to paint it as, oh no, they're fine, like it's all good. They like the, no.
We'll see that first try.
Same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Mm-mm.
And if Tulane ends up like not pushing it or trying to pull it out of them, fine. That's a tough ask. Georgia clearly can. And what would have turned into a really, really good 6-3 game, I think that Georgia will roll them.
Mean machine. All right. That will bring us to Texas A&M versus Ohio State. I think, aside from Alabama, Oklahoma, and then potentially Alabama, Indiana, this could also be one of the best. This is going to be up there for top 5 football games of the season.
Agreed.
You got Marcel Reed. You got Julian Sand. Those two going back and forth, slightly different styles. You know, I've got Ohio State coming out on top in this one, but I've got an electric football game that I'm excited to see.
Agreed. 100% agree. Also, this one's going to have like a sneaky close spread. This one might be like Ohio State minus 4.5 or something.
Yeah.
It's not going to be this big, they're favorites. I do think Texas A&M will have at least a chance. They'll have at least a chance to win it.
They've got the tools. They've got the weapons. It's a matter of, is it clicking on that day? Is Ohio State clicking on that day?
Last one is your Indiana, Alabama.
I have Indiana coming out of this.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got Oregon and then 1, 2, 3.
Oregon, yep. Oregon and 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it'd be Oregon, Indiana, Georgia, Ohio State.
Okay. Semis, what you got?
I got Indiana and I got Ohio State. A repeat of the conference championship game.
I
had this in both brackets too. I did the CFP bracket, and then I did what my ideal 12-team playoff would be.
Same.
And it ended up in the same situation here.
I'm going to take Indiana. But I think I'm going to take Georgia.
Okay.
And here's what I'm thinking. Here's my mindset for it. Ohio State might be, again, totally projecting. I could be incredibly wrong here. I think Ohio State, there's potential for them to fall into the pit trap of already thinking a week ahead to Indiana for the revenge game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of focusing on the very good Georgia team.
That Georgia defense.
And that Ohio State being number one, losing to this Indiana team that is very good, but is not a name that you would have thought.
No.
2 years ago. So for some of these kids who probably are seniors and beat up on Indiana for 2 years, are like, bro, who the hell are these guys?
What was that? Yeah.
Like, we were number one. This shouldn't have happened. Blah 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 blah. Okay, well now you've put yourselves in a situation where, to your point, you're gonna have to play. I think a very good A&M team, and then now you're one step away from that rematch with Indiana. Indiana also has the earlier game that day. Oh no. Ohio State plays first, sorry. Ohio State plays on New Year's Eve. I think it'll be a trap game. Oh no. No, it was right. They play in the Fiesta Bowl. So they play the day before. So they play in the 8th. So the Peach Bowl would be on the 9th. So Ohio State's going to play first before Indiana would play. That's my point. Is I think that there's potential for them to be looking across to be like, oh yeah, well look, we're gonna rematch with Indiana. What a great game that's going to be. And instead they're going to get Georgia, and Georgia's going to be like,
we're trying to win the national championship. Yeah,
me.
yeah, you're in our way. Move, get off the tracks.
So, I think I'm going to go Georgia, Indiana.
And then who you got?
I mean this with so much. Coin toss. 50-50.
It comes down to the coin toss. Whoever wins it, wins it.
Yeah, you pack the stadium just looking at the coin toss. You know, 15 cameras staring at it. I think the story of Indiana is great. What a great story in this NIL landscape that we're in right now, to show that hey, you don't have to be a blue chip powerhouse program to get a good coach, get good players, put something together. You know, if you have the right standards in place, your team can compete, and you can be in a tough conference, and you can play the best teams, and you can still develop over time. That's a great story because you're giving hope to these other schools, the Vanderbilts.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt had the worst SEC. They were the worst SEC football team as long as I can remember. And for these schools to get to come and compete and be like, oh no, like we have the right combination of players, coaches, NAL money, whatever. I think that's great because that's going to go a long way. Again, you look at these other schools, all general powerhouse schools, with the exception of the group of 5.
Yeah.
The rest of these schools are consistently in the conversation. So Indiana is the one that sticks out to me. But Georgia, man. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Georgia won it and they're like, well, you know, go Dogs. Like, I'd be like, yeah, you know, you're right.
Yeah, should have known.
Defense. Oh, wow, 15 of the top 20 picks in the NFL draft were Georgia Bulldogs. Man, you're really right. So, I do think if there is a team that can do it, it would be Indiana. Or Ohio State on that side. But I think Indiana comes out of that top half of the bracket. And I think that they cruise, and I think we're talking about Cignetti being one of those great coaches.
Okay.
More than we already are.
All right.
You?
I had Indiana and Ohio State in the Natty.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have Ryan Day and Julian Sand winning back-to-back, upsetting Indiana after losing in the conference championship game. Like I said, it's hard to beat somebody twice.
True.
And that would be twice very recent. Texas Tech did it, but they were blowouts both times. They were going to beat them 10 times over the season.
Indiana.
Be honest.
54-10 over Ohio State. Blows them out, gets them off the
That'd be crazy. Crazy.
Okay. Ohio State, I can respect that, though.
Just, how I think it plays out. I do think Indiana's the best football team out there. Texas A&M might be the second, but I think Ohio State's just such a well-oiled machine. And I think Ryan Day gets him going for that championship game, assuming, they win steps 1 and 2 before that.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Well, this game, since we've been on, has kind of turned into a good football game.
It has. And division rivals, like
Igbuka has got me 7 total points. And I will say I'm absolutely kicking myself because Mike Evans was available. But with the collarbone, I'm worried like one crazy hit, he's out, and it's playoffs. So, not great. However, it's the 1 versus 8, so I should be fine this round. Maybe I'll see if Mike Evans is available next week, as he gets me 0 points. I think that's it, pal.
All right, yeah, that's all I had.
There was a lot. We've got... I think it's one more week before this opening game, so it'll be not this coming weekend, it'll be next weekend. So maybe we'll get some previews on next week. See if anything changes in the meantime. But yeah, man. Anything else you got?
No, that's all I had.
Sweet. Well, enjoy your reprieve from college football before it gets all crazy.
Yes, I most definitely will, because good lord.
You guys know the deal. Yeah, I guess we're Instagram now, YouTube, Spotify. I saw that we did shout out to those people. We appeared on some people's Spotify Wrapped,
Hey yo,
which
we're gonna have to start making messages like those artists do.
hey, what's up? What are you doing listening to us?
We appreciate you. Hopefully, we'll be on the Wrapped in 2026.
Yeah, that's my goal now.
Heck yeah.
So, we'll probably put that like in a time capsule box. Open it up December 2026. Like, how many people did I make on my list?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, that's it. Enjoy.
All right, enjoy.
Catch you
Take
guys
it
next
easy. Yeah, we'll see you next time.